probably.
Yeah, for me,
It's better than kissing dogs and cats on the lips, anyway, isn't it?
Oh,
That's gross. And my mate Big Dave, he would have the waiters, because he's a sumo wrestler, a massive guy. He would have the waiters, little Japanese waiters. He'd be holding them up there horizontally and spinning them around. Right? And we used to do this every Friday night. He'd be spinning them around like that, and we were going, yeah, come on, come on.
Hi, can I ask you your name?
Yes, my name is Ian.
Ian, nice to meet you, Ian.
My name is Maia.
Maia, nice to meet you. Can I ask your relationship?
She's my daughter.
This is my father.
Right, okay, father and daughter, great. And what country are you from, Ian?
I'm from the UK.
UK, great.
Born in England, but grew up in Wales.
Wales, okay, good. Nice, beautiful countryside, yeah. And how long have you lived in Japan?
I came here in '99, so that's about 24 years ago.
Yeah, it's quite a long time. And Mai, were you born in Japan or?
Yes, my whole life.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you lived your whole life in Japan, great. Okay, and so where do you have your own house or do you live in an apartment and you have got more family?
Well, we've always lived in a rental house, and actually this is perfect timing because we're just in the process of buying a new house out for the first time, which is exciting.
Well, that's quite big in Japan, isn't it, to get in your own house? It's quite difficult.
To be honest, it's taken 20 years to be able to buy a house because that's another story with regards to bank loans and being able to get a bank loan and whatnot. But eventually, now we've got there, so we should be getting the keys next month, I hope.
That's great.
And it's a big place. It's got a granny annex and a barn and
a kura.
Kura.
Right. I might move in with you.
So
we'll rent it out.
Can, actually.
We hope to start a new Airbnb business there.
Wow,
so,
that would be good. Anyone who wants to come to Japan, there is an Airbnb in Maia.
We are 10 minutes from Suzuka F1 circuit.
Right, any F1 fans?
1 hour from Ise Shrine and the Ninja Museum. Good place.
Yeah, there's lots going on in Maia. It's not a big county, but there's quite a few things going on. Good. Yeah. So, and what do you do, Ian? Are you working?
Yeah, at the moment, well, for the past 20 years, or more than 20 years, I've had an English school here in Maia called Queen's Education, or Queen's English School. But I didn't come here as an English teacher, I came here as a professional rugby coach.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So I started first 5 years coaching professional rugby. I was coaching up in Tokyo to start with at Aoyama Gakuin Daigaku, and then did some other coaching with Meijo University in Aichi and Honda Heat here in Suzuka. So I did that for about 5 years as a pro rugby coach, and then decided to go for something with a bit more stability and go back to my roots, which was teaching, because back in the UK for 20 years I was a physical education teacher in Wales and in Australia. So I went back to teaching and opened my own school.
So Wales is really well known for rugby, but how about in Japan? You don't really think of Japan for rugby, but
well, it's very localized. So there's certain pockets of Japan where rugby is very strong.
Okay.
Like in some of the big cities, mainly Mie-ken, where we live here, not very strong. There's only one pro team, and that's Honda.
Okay.
Which is probably not the best place for me to end up in, but I ended up here for various reasons and just stayed here. So
and now you teach English, just English, or?
Well, my speciality is, as I said, I was a PE teacher.
Yeah.
So I combine physical education teaching with English, and I created something called Active English, which is teaching English through human movement and sport, and that's my speciality.
Oh, that's a really good idea, and I guess no one else is doing that. So
no, it's pretty. I think I am the only person probably in Japan who's doing it.
Wow, that's great.
Because not many people are qualified to do it either.
Sure, yeah.
So that's one thing.
And with all the health and safety now, I mean.
Yeah. And then we're sitting here in our what we call our dojo, but it's a multi-purpose room, and you see we got Muhammad Ali in the background
Yeah,
there,
it's a lovely
and
room.
lots of equipment up the other end. And it's a multi-purpose room that's also doubles as our active English space. Yeah.
Great. So any sports people that want to learn English is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're at school, Maya? Yeah, I guess.
Yes, I'm a student.
What grade are you in now?
High school grade 1.
Okay. Do you enjoy school?
I like break time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in December I have this really important exam, and if I pass this exam, I get to go to another country for 2 years and finally get out of my school.
Wow.
And so that is what I'm really working towards right now, and that is like my motivation to get up every day.
So where do you want to go and
Um,
study? Do you know?
Honestly, anywhere is fine.
You just want to travel?
Yeah, like I just want to get out of my comfort zone, and yeah, and like they don't actually tell me where like I'm gonna end up. Like they're gonna choose it for me, and I say okay. So
Oh, that's exciting. That was so good. Yeah. And do you have any hobbies, both of you?
I watch films, if that's a hobby.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think it counts as one.
I love
You do
Netflix.
ballet.
Oh yeah, not very good at it, but I do ballet for maybe 2 years now. Maybe, yeah, 2 years. And I also do martial arts when my brother is home,
Wow.
but he lives in another prefecture now, so he's not home much. But yeah, that's like the sports I do.
I was going to say, so you're quite sporty. You got that off your dad, obviously.
I don't know, like I like sports, but I wouldn't say I'm sporty. But I would like to get sporty because I would like to get in shape.
Well, yeah, it's good. to
She
keep
was
it.
very
Yeah.
good at karate because you were always you're big and strong, stronger
Yeah.
than a lot of the girls. So she used to flatten most of the girls.
Well, I won't get in a fight with you then.
Yeah.
And how about you, Ian? Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, too many. As my wife says, I should get a job. Surfing. So from age 9, all my life I've been into water sports.
So not just rugby, but also
Yeah.
water
I
sports.
used
Wow.
rugby and surfing, my two main sports, both from age 9. So I played rugby for 31 years.
Wow.
Hence the amount of injuries that I have now and the amount of painkillers I pop every day. But that's another story. And surfing is really my main love now, because I don't play rugby anymore, of course. But,
And of course, Japan is well known for its beautiful beaches.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the reasons I love living here, because we've just had probably one of the longest summers, the longest summer I've ever experienced.
And
I think
the
it starts.
hottest.
We're now in November the, what is it, 16th or something?
Yeah, middle of November,
In the
still
middle of
20
November.
degrees.
It started in June, and it's still really hot
Yeah.
today. The water is still really warm. I'm still wearing a short wetsuit.
You like nice weather, come to Japan.
Yeah, I mean, so you know, what can you say? You can't moan about started in June and it's still November now and it's still warm.
Yeah, no,
You know,
it's great.
it's so
Well, it's
back in the
perfect
UK.
if you like outside outdoor sports.
Back in the UK, as everybody knows, it's quite depressing. It's rainy and dark
Well,
and
it's
gloomy
freezing
and
now,
cloudy
apparently, yeah.
freezing in the winter. You know, so yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. So, when you first came to Japan, Ian, was there anything that was really surprised you? You know, that was like really different or really strange, or anything you're shocked by, particularly?
Shocked? I don't know.
Shocked or surprised, or just something different?
Well, a few pleasant things, you know, with the fact that the people were so nice, and the customer service was incredible.
Yeah.
Really, I mean,
Yeah,
walking
so good.
into a shop and the service, because you know, back in the UK we were used to getting things thrown at us when you give people money and they throw the food at you, and it's like, wow, these people are so polite.
Wrap everything for you.
Yeah, wrap
it's
it,
like,
do anything you want. It was just, so that was a really pleasant
nice.
shock.
Yeah.
not many here in Miaken, not many people could speak English, but it's my job to learn to speak Japanese because I'm in their country, so I realised that. It's a pretty hard language though, even after all this time now.
Yeah, it is difficult.
I'm still not very good.
But I think at least now we've got mobile phones and you can translate, on your mobile phone. Whereas I think when you and I first came to Japan many, many years ago, it was just, sign language.
I can read kanji now with my appli.
Wow, yeah. I was going to say, I'm sure that Maia knows much more kanji, many more kanji than we do.
People say to me, why don't you learn kanji? I say, well, how long did it take you to learn kanji? 10 years plus, probably, yeah?
You start now.
And still Japanese people don't know some of the kanji.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
don't use it so much.
Because I wasn't so young when I came here, I'm thinking, well, do I want to spend 10 years of my life learning kanji, and then I write a letter, business letter or something, and I still have to give it to a Japanese person to proofread it for me,
right, yeah.
And they're going to make a dozen changes, which is going to take another hour. And I thought, well, you may as well have written the damn thing in the beginning.
Sure.
Save me.
Just pay someone to do it.
Yeah. So, but it's important to communicate. So I want to be able to speak well and improve my listening skills. But I'm not too bothered about writing or learning kanji because I have no interest in it. If I'd come here as a young man, probably I would have got into it. But
I don't think it's necessary, and I think more and more people are speaking English these days. I mean, you learn English. From what age did you start learning English in school, Maya?
Well, at school.
At school. I mean, obviously you've learned English from your dad, but
at school I started learning English when I was in the first grade.
Right. So it's.
It wasn't a very good program. I mean, the first English class we did when I was in the 4th grade, we started from ABC again. So
it's like our school French, I reckon.
Yeah, so it's it was a terrible program. And my current school is known for their good English program, but I don't really think that's true. I don't think they're teaching it right. But
that's probably because you're a pro and you can already speak it.
It's difficult when the students speak better English than the teacher.
Well, exactly.
So I feel sorry for the teacher, but I don't feel sorry for the teacher because if you're going to teach a language,
you should be able to speak it.
You should be fluent at it,
But that was the same thing we had. I mean, obviously in the UK where we both grew up, it was French was your second language, and very few people can speak French because I mean, I did have a French teacher. She was actually French, so her pronunciation was great. But the other teachers weren't, and so our pronunciation was bad. So if we go to France, they're like, "What?
pourquoi?"
So pourquoi, indeed.
Well, I could speak some French because I used to go surfing to France every year.
Oh, yeah.
But I still ended up getting a CSE grade 5, and really, not GCSE, a CSE. So you really cannot get anything lower than that.
Well, I got A levels.
But I could order beer and food and talk to pretty women.
The important things. And I'm sure you can do that in Japanese.
Yeah, my motivation goes up slightly talking to women more than men. I don't know why that is, but
don't let your wife hear.
But actually, Maia, you said I taught her English. Well, I spoke to her in English from the day she was born.
Yeah,
which of course is an advantage. But I don't think I've ever given her an English lesson.
No.
She took it upon herself to become a native speaker. How did you do that?
That's good.
I mean, it wasn't really a challenge for me. I met this friend. She was Albanian and she spoke 3 languages: Japanese, Albanian, and English. And she introduced me to American YouTubers, and then I got really into American YouTubers.
Okay.
And so then I started talking like them, and I started using the words they were using.
So that was your motivation,
Yeah, it wasn't really my motivation. Like I just learned it really naturally.
Obviously, you have a knack for languages, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they say maybe people, either do have or they find it very difficult. People who find it very difficult don't tend to study languages. So, it's like with anything. It's like me with maths.
Oh.
Rubbish at it. But there you go. That's another story.
Well,
So,
that was a bit of
yeah.
a bit of an annoying period, that was, wasn't it? When you were walking around the house talking like a
YouTuber.
an American skanky lady. No, actually, maybe don't use words like that. And that kind
you
of
have to be
language.
careful.
Yeah, well, that's what's on YouTube.
Yeah.
But you would change your like way of speaking all the time, because you were watching different YouTube videos,
Yeah.
and suddenly next day she'd come in speaking differently.
Right.
I said,
Yeah.
Well, I find that as well. I mean, I was teaching English for a bit as well, and you sort of tend, if you're speaking, because most Japanese people speak English with an American accent, so I find that my English was becoming more American. People would say to me, "From America," I'm like, "No," but when I go home and I come back again, my accent becomes more British. I guess it's just because who you're around and you pick it up, don't you? It's probably like us with our Japanese accents. If you live in one place for a long time, you pick up that that accent. So,
He does that.
yeah, I've been told that as well.
As I said, I was born near London in Reading, so when I go to Wales, people say you're English. When I go to England, people say you're Welsh.
Right.
So my accent is kind of in the middle, and a lot of my
And how about in Japan? What do they say your accent is in Japanese?
I don't know what accent do I just bad is it?
I don't know, like some words you just pronounce so weird. You I don't know, you're like and then I'm like, what accent is that?
So you have to teach him, Maia.
The rugby boys taught me Japanese. That's why maybe.
And if she tries to teach you, do you is she a good teacher or is she a good pupil?
She did say last week, wasn't it? We'll start speaking in Japanese. I've never spoken to her in Japanese because I wanted her to become native level.
Yeah. I know. And when
But
you're young, you have to do that, don't you?
So now she's native level. I don't mind. Her passing it back
to you. Yeah,
she can teach me Japanese.
Yeah, and at least
properly,
she can speak English to explain it to you. So
but we'll try it. I don't know how much patience she's going to have. If she keeps shouting at me, I'll quit probably. But my students say to me, "Oh, you're really easy. Your accent is really easy to understand." So yes, that's because it is very neutral, and also I'm speaking at a very slow speed and enunciating, and so you can understand me really well. Yeah. But that's why if I go out with one of my foreign friends, and we end up speaking like this and say, "What did you do last week?" "Oh, do you see that?"
They wouldn't be able to.
They wouldn't have a clue what I was talking about because I'm speaking normal speed, but you slow it down so much that you end up talking like this at people.
I end up doing that when I go home and they're like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. What's wrong? What's wrong with you? Why are you talking like that?
So was there anything that you found difficult, like when you first came to Japan, or a problem you had, or?
Rugby. So I was coaching Premier Division rugby in Wales, which is top level rugby, and came here, and it just felt like being a rookie coach again because I couldn't communicate.
Yeah.
I could not, I just came into the country and couldn't speak any Japanese. They threw me in front of a rugby team and said, "Coach them." How? I couldn't. I had some people who could help me a little bit,
Yeah.
But it was really, really difficult to get your opinion over, because when you're coaching, you're talking, you're multitasking, talking to so many people. You can't do it if you can't speak the language. And so it was really difficult, and it took a long time for me to get to grips with it. And I probably think I never reached my full potential as a coach because here in Japan, because I couldn't communicate properly.
Right.
And
so did that give you more incentive to learn Japanese at that time, or?
Yeah, I learned a lot of rugby specific Japanese.
Yeah, I guess,
Yes.
Which was great at that time, but you don't really use it much now.
No, I got all the flashcards somewhere. But, So it was rather hindering, and it was a big problem when I first came here.
I think that's probably a problem that a lot of people think because, Japanese, really difficult language, maybe I won't go there. But, I think if you're prepared to just give it a go, and people will help you, and a lot of people more do speak English today. So I think, you can do
Well,
it.
I know some people who've only been here a short time and they're like 100% better than me at jazz. How do you do that? Some people are just gifted at
Well,
languages,
that's it.
you know?
Yeah, so I was saying, language is a gift. I think
If you can
learning
speak
languages,
one or two other languages, picking
That
up a
helps.
third or fourth language,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier than
yeah, it
just
is.
doing
it
it
is.
just
But
doing
it
one
is a
more language.
difficult language in some ways, and then in some ways it's not so difficult grammar-wise, as like German. I mean, German is ridiculous. I mean, they don't even have a word for the in Japan. So you don't have to worry about which one it is, if it's masculine, feminine. Yes, and in some ways...
What do you think is the hardest?
Language in the world.
No, out of English and Japanese.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Right. Is that speaking it, though, or is that because of the kanji?
Oh,
Right, okay.
no.
But more the writing or more the...
More of the writing
Yeah.
or more of the speaking, which is harder? Well, I think writing is harder because I have a French friend and she's learning kanji now and she's really impressive and she's only been here for like, I don't know, 7 months.
Puts us to shame. But you've got to have the, like you say, the motivation to learn. And if you don't need to, and you're just normally living a normal lifestyle, teaching English or something, you don't really need to learn it. So you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I can't speak Japanese, I can't go to Japan. If that's where if you want to do that, trying that. So and I think if you do, like you really do, like your friend, study, then you want to study, then you can. So if you want a challenge, then yeah.
Sure.
But I don't think people realise how difficult it is. For example, if I say to my secretary, give that guy a call and tell him, we'll do that meeting on Friday at 4 o'clock. And she'll say, well, how old is he? And what's his title?
Yeah.
I go, what does it matter? Just give him a call and tell him we'll be there at 4 o'clock on Friday.
Because you've got to know how to speak.
So a simple phone call that takes me 2 minutes takes her 15 minutes to make. By the time she's worked out what his title is, how old he is, what kind of Japanese she's allowed to say to him, this drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts.
I agree.
Just pick up the damn phone, call him, but they can't do that,
No.
So I'm having a bit of a rant now, right? So one thing I don't like is the senpai system. I hate it. You've got to give respect to somebody who's older. If your boss in the company is older, he could be an absolute idiot, but you still have to give him respect. Now, in our country, that doesn't work like that.
No, you earn the respect, don't you?
You only get respect if you earn it, and it doesn't matter how old you are.
No.
You get promoted on your ability, not on your age.
Yeah.
So there's one thing I dislike about the Japanese system is the senpai system, all the keigo, isn't it, and using the correct Japanese. I mean, for you and me, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because nobody cares what Japanese we say to them because they don't expect you and me.
Well, no, that's right. Yeah, they don't
To
expect
know
the
what it
average
is.
foreigner to.
Actually, we do know. No, I don't know it, but some foreigners know it. But we can get away with murder literally because we're not expected to know it. But asking a Japanese person to do something or writing a letter is the same thing. It takes an hour to write a letter, which a memo I can write in 5 minutes takes them an hour to write.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's really frustrating trying to do business over here.
It's very hard, isn't it? I mean, I had a situation in my school. I don't, because it's kind of British system, and we don't have any. I just call them by first names, and they just call. They call each other, but they don't. They call each other so and so Chan or so and so San. Because they have this. If it's older than you are, but in the class, I don't have that because it's just. But yeah, some of them had a problem because they were mimicking me and because they were doing that, which is fine for me in the studio. I don't mind what anybody calls each other, but of course, some of the younger kids were calling the older kids just by their first name. And of course, some of the kids were like a bit, oh, well, you shouldn't be, or that actually wasn't the kids, it was the parents or whoever was sort of saying, oh no, you could, yeah, so that's quite a difficult thing to get to grips with, isn't it, I guess, but yeah, but like you say, you can get away with, not murder literally, but you can get away with a lot, yeah. So do you like Japanese food, Ian?
Yes, but let me ask you, what is Japanese food? Right.
Sushi.
What?
Sushi is definitely Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah. What else is Japanese food?
Washoku. I literally just said Japanese
That
food.
is Japanese food, yeah.
Because people say, I love ramen.
Ramen's not
From
Japanese,
China.
from China,
I love
Gyoza.
Karage.
Gyoza,
Fried chicken.
And
Not Japanese.
half the things I might say, or 90%, are from another country. Actually,
Yeah,
they're not
yeah.
actually pure Japanese. So,
Well, I'm thinking
but yeah,
like,
I love going for ramen and simple sushi, as I always say. Yeah, simple sushi. And
but how about things that are Japanese, like udon or soba, other kinds of noodles? Do you like the Japanese way of having your little, plates, teishoku?
So the two things you said there, no, I don't rush out. Don't rush out to eat those. Pretty tasteless, and and having your typical Japanese restaurant dish with all the little bits and
Teishoku, yeah.
and the big fish with the eye still in it and and a million bones. No, not really. No.
Can you eat raw fish?
Yeah. Again, simple stuff. I like sashimi. And I love wasabi.
Yeah,
So,
wasabi's great, yeah.
Simple stuff. The weird stuff that comes around the kaiten sushi, I don't choose that normally.
No.
But salmon, ebi, what are the other two?
Tuna?
Tuna, and that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe kai, clams or something?
No.
No. So how about you as a half Japanese, half English person? Do you like Japanese food?
I love it.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's probably because you were brought up here
Yeah.
and I guess.
I mean, some Japanese food I'm like, dude, but like what he said, like like a fish with still an eyeball and million bones.
So even you don't like that.
Oh, I hate bones and like it shouldn't be in the thing. But other things, yeah, I like. It's healthy. It makes you live longer.
And in the opposite, do you like English food or British food? And does your dad make British food a lot? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
This might be really controversial, but I love British food.
It's only controversial because most people think British food is terrible and tasteless, but it depends.
I know. Like, I love a good English breakfast. I love that. But I don't like, what was it called? The pork scratchers?
Oh, pork scratchings,
scratchings.
yeah. A lot of English people don't like pork scratchings,
That's
so
so
you're not
It's just
alone
fried fat, isn't it? Not raw fried, well, not raw, but fried fat. But we sell it in pubs and drink it. It's like, drinking what they drink with beer. What do you call it?
Arare?
Arare.
With beer?
I don't like arare. What?
Is that what we have with beer in Japan?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah,
We don't
rari or
have beer,
peanuts or edamame.
Yeah, well, I love that.
I love
but,
edamame.
Yeah. They're really popular actually in England now.
Really?
Edamame, yeah. And they're called edamame. You can get edamame salads and things.
But that's
I think
another thing.
Japanese food is very popular, isn't it, abroad?
Wow.
Yeah, well, no, I mean,
Very popular.
when we go home, sometimes you want to go to Wagamamas.
Which again is a fusion.
That sounded
really,
very Welsh,
isn't
didn't it? Wagamamas. And, so,
Very fusion.
yeah. But actually, I like that fusion, like the California
California rolls.
roll and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When they put other things in the
Yeah.
in the sushi and stuff, it's actually really good.
Well, I guess that's, because of their taste. It's like if you go to Yo Sushi in English, conveyor
That's
sushi.
so
yeah.
expensive.
There's no raw fish. It's because we don't eat raw fish.
Well, they're
generally.
also expensive. That's the problem.
They
You
are
can't afford to
expensive.
go to them.
And so small.
Yeah.
And here it's so cheap. It's ridiculous, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is ridiculous. I mean, Japanese food. That's one thing. Is it is really cheap. It's good to.
But it's like you say, what is British food? Another good question, right? You've got fish and chips, of course,
Yeah.
which is super famous. Roast dinner,
English
toad
breakfast,
in,
porridge.
porridge, toad in the hole.
What is Welsh food? Welsh cakes, I know. And,
Welsh cakes.
and cheese on toast.
Lava bread.
Welsh rarebit.
Lava bread, which is
lava
seaweed.
bread, yeah.
Seaweed. And but yeah, a lot of things. It's a bit like Japan. There's only a few things that are really truly British.
Yeah, that's right. It's all been muddled, hasn't it?
But Japanese people always say, "Oh, British food is not good." Yeah.
Yeah.
All of my friends say
So
that.
they've been told
But,
that.
So we send a lot of students overseas on homestay over the years.
Yeah.
And they're always saying, "Oh, before they go, British food is not good. I'm not looking forward to that." And they get there and they're a bit, I'm and then they come back 3 months later and they put on about 6 stone. They look like Humpty Dumpty. I said, "Well, you didn't like the food, did you?" "Oh, it's delicious. We love it. Yeah, fish and chips."
Yeah.
They always come back about 6 stone heavier.
Is there any kind of things that your dad makes, like, or put strange sauces on things, or something that you think, what? We won't do that.
Well, he puts too much vinegar on everything.
Vinegar. That's very British, isn't it? Yeah.
The smell is horrible.
Yeah, I can understand that because I don't do vinegar. It's like fish and chips, and then you put vinegar
You
on
don't have
it.
salt and vinegar on fish and chips.
No. The salt, yes.
Yeah.
But I like my chips with how they eat them in Holland, which is with mayonnaise, which is great.
We did that recently
It's
with
really good.
mayonnaise, didn't we?
It's really
Yeah,
good.
it is good actually. That's mayonnaise goes well with chips.
Yeah, definitely.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.